Effortless, imperious, untouchable, three words that have described the Range Rover Autobiography for the better part of 2 decades. A vehicle that never had to shout about what it was because everyone in the room already knew. But this isn't just a small refresh. Land Rover has pushed the Autobiography further than any previous generation has gone, and there's one experience aboard this car that, once you have had it, makes every other luxury SUV feel like it is trying too hard. We'll get to that, and that should get fans pretty excited. We're talking about the 2026 Range Rover Autobiography, and today, we are not just covering what is new, we drove it. And we are going to tell you exactly what it is like to live with the most luxurious SUV on the market right now. Let's start outside. The grille is the same clean gloss black mesh. It has always been wide, flat, and utterly self-assured. It has not changed because it does not need to. The headlights are slimmer than the previous generation, a narrow LED strip that runs almost the full width of the front end, giving the face a composed, half-lidded expression that somehow manages to look both relaxed and completely authoritative at the same time. Down the sides, the body is smooth and taut, almost no visible shut lines, almost no unnecessary creasing, just a long, uninterrupted surface that catches the light in one clean sweep from the front door all the way to the tail. The wheels on our test car were 23 inches optional, and frankly the right call, wrapped in low-profile rubber that should look ridiculous on an SUV but instead looks completely correct. No cladding of any kind, not one piece of plastic trim. Just painted metal and glass from the ground up. At the rear, the taillights have been redesigned, slimmer, more horizontal, and connected by a full-width graphic that ties the entire tail together in a single composed line. None of this is dramatic. None of it is trying to impress you, and that precisely is why it does. But the moment you open the door and it opens and closes with a weight and a sound that alone justifies a significant portion of the price, is when this vehicle makes its real argument. Step inside, and this is where some of the biggest changes are immediately felt rather than just seen. The cabin is the finest interior in any production SUV currently available. Full-length Nappa leather on every surface you can reach, and several you cannot. Open-pore timber veneer across the full width of the dashboard, warm, natural, and cut in a single matched piece so the grain flows without interruption from door to door. The Autobiography specification adds a 13.1-inch curved at the center, running Pro with the fastest and most fluid response of any in-car system we have tested this year. It does not just work, it works immediately every time with no hesitation. In front of you, a fully configurable 13.7-inch driver display sits behind a frameless glass panel that gives the instrument cluster the appearance of a floating screen inside the cabin rather than something bolted to a dashboard. Whether you're being driven by a chauffeur or driving yourself across 3 countries, the rear seats in the long wheelbase Autobiography are the single strongest argument for ownership. Electrically adjustable, fully reclining to near horizontal, with a leg rest, individual climate zones, a massage function that actually works, and a cabin silence so complete at motorway speed that a normal speaking voice feels like it is echoing. Whether you're stepping in after a long flight or beginning a day of back-to-back meetings, this rear cabin does not just carry you, it restores you. But it is what happens when you leave the road entirely that truly separates the Autobiography from everything else at this price. On our test car was the 4.4 twin-turbocharged BMW V8 530 horsepower, delivered with a smoothness that makes the power figure feel almost irrelevant because you never feel the effort. It simply moves, quietly, completely, and without drama. The 8-speed automatic gearbox makes changes that are essentially imperceptible at normal speeds. You look down at the display, register that the number has changed, and wonder when exactly that happened. However, and this is where the Autobiography earns its price in a way no specification sheet can communicate. Land Rover's electronic air suspension in its latest generation has become something that should not be possible from a vehicle of this size and weight. At motorway speed, the Autobiography isolates its occupants from the road so completely that on our test route, which included a genuinely broken section of A road that had defeated several other press cars that week, not one passenger commented on the surface. Not one, because they did not feel it. Suspension reads the road ahead using a forward-facing camera, adjusts each corner independently before the wheel arrives at the imperfection, and delivers a ride quality that is not merely comfortable but genuinely surreal. If this is what refinement looks like at the absolute ceiling of the segment, then every manufacturer below it has significantly more work to do. And for those who want the off-road capability the nameplate was built on, the Autobiography will still ford a river, climb a gradient that would stop most vehicles entirely, and do both without ever asking the driver to change a setting or accept a compromise. The 2026 Range Rover Autobiography starts at around $240,000 USD in standard wheelbase form. The long wheelbase, which is the one you should buy, and the one we tested adds to that figure, pushing the S-tested price of our car to just over $275,000 with options. That is a significant number. However, Range Rover residual values at autobiography level are among the most resilient in the entire luxury vehicle market. 3-year-old autobiography models consistently return 55 to 60% of their original value, a retention rate that matches or beats most German rivals at similar price points. In terms of markets, the autobiography is a global product, but the Middle East, the United Kingdom, North America, and China represent the 4 largest markets, and in each of those regions, the Range Rover occupies a position that no competitor has successfully displaced in over a decade. The 2026 Range Rover Autobiography is, right now, the most complete luxury SUV that money can buy, not because of any single feature, not because of the badge, but because of the totality of the experience it delivers from the moment you approach it to the moment you reluctantly step back out. The one question we are still sitting with after a week behind the wheel: whether the forthcoming fully electric Range Rover can preserve the ride quality, the cabin silence, and the sheer sense of occasion that the V8 Autobiography delivers. Because if it can, the combustion version's days are numbered. If it cannot, that engine has more life left in it than anyone expected. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.